guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Yvonne from GingerChickRehab. I'm so glad to have you visiting and seeing what we're up to today. If you're new to our channel, this is something I do with my husband Chris. We take thrift store found items and we repurpose them, give them new life, and make them over here in our channel. And we share our vision in the process of what we do to these items. So in today's video, do you all still do coffee tables? Do you have ottomans? What do you use around your couch in your living room? So that is one thing I almost noticed at the thrift stores, that there is an overabundance of coffee tables. Now in our booths, we really don't have a lot of room for big chunky coffee tables. But one day I'm out thrifting and I'm like, oh, I like that coffee table. The legs were just chunky and it had these cool drawers, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. We had kind of changed our basement and we had an ottoman, which was okay, but then, you know, that fabric and setting stuff on it and drinks, and you have a tray. And so actually when I thrifted this, I had us in mind of keeping it. So this is how we transformed this coffee table into our own decor. And yeah, guys, we're going to keep it. I absolutely love it. And for $10.09, yeah.
And as I said, coffee tables are not something we normally do. We don't have a lot of room to put them in our booth, but look at those legs. So yes, for $10.09, it came home with me. Oh, this is a heavy. I love all that detail. The drawers actually slide open from both sides. That is such a neat feature. And there's always got to be one sticky drawer. Looks to be that the culprit of the drawer not going all the way in was the faceplate to this drawer. So it must be that maybe it was dropped, maybe it was in moisture where it warped, or who knows. We never know the history of the pieces that we get, and maybe we don't want to know the history, but he's going to start right off with popping that off and trying to get it readjusted. So now he's going to put the entire drawer back in and then play with that face a little bit to make sure that it's going to be level, kind of get it more of a guide where that is not. It's made to actually slide in there, so it should not be bumping because you want to pull them back and forth like that. So with a little assistance from some tape, so he can stick that front on there while he's testing it out. That way he'll know where to drill it into once he gets it adjusted. Now hopefully this solves the problem and this stays free flowing. So now he's just getting that front screwed back in. And these drawers will work properly again, as that's such a cool feature of sliding in and out on both sides. And I'm not sure if you noticed from the close-up of this coffee table, nope, that was a home paint job. That was not a manufacturer's paint job. So it definitely needed to be sanded and was not the smoothest of paint jobs. So he got it all sanded using some 120 grit just to take it down. And now he's just using the air compressor to blow it off. And now that part of the prep is done, it's time to get this cleaned. Yep, some Superclean, wipe on, wipe off, let it dry, get all those pieces and parts, anything that will prevent your paint from sticking. Yep, your prep of a piece that you are refinishing, that you are repainting, that you are redoing, that you are making over is the most important. To get your finished product to look the best that it can, you need to spend the time prepping it and cleaning it properly. And if you are new to our channel, we are a fan of undercoating an item black or leaving it black. And anyway, so for this piece, unfortunately, all the detail edges that we like to pop with the black are the areas that needed to be sanded off. So Chris has to go back in with some ready-to-use black onyx black paint right off the shelf from Walmart. And yep, even though it's already black, all those edges needed painted back in. And if you wonder why paint black underneath, it's just something about how it richens up that white. It makes it take less coats of white to cover. And then when we go to distress it, show off those details, we can sand it down to just that black, so that black is really popping through. It's just a look that we have come to love. But now to make sure that that black stays in place, we need to seal it in with something. So Chris is using some polycrylic in the matte spray to seal all this black in. So when we go to sand it, go to add that white paint, it doesn't make a gray mucky mess. And then when we go to sand it, it stays put where it is.
So hi guys, I'm breaking into my coffee table makeover to thank you all for 50,000 subscribers. I just humbly feel blessed that you took the time, one, to watch our videos, two, to subscribe to our channel, which is not always an easy task. And every time you comment and you give a thumbs up and you watch one of our commercials, just helps us out so much. So I wanted to give back a little bit by doing a giveaway. And so what I'm doing is I'm giving away, I got my hands on 3 of my favorite IOD stamp sets. So I have a Marmalade, I have a Animal, and then I have the sunflower stamps. Along with a stamping mount. And if the stamps don't come with masks, I will be happy to make them and send them to you. So this is what today's giveaway is for me reaching 50,000. Thank you. I'm going to be doing 3 giveaways. I can't really let you pick out the stamp sets. It would be way too hard. So, but unfortunately I have to keep it in the United States only. I did check out shipping for international, and I'm sorry, my little rural town, it would be a lot of money. I'm sorry. So anyway, so if I can keep it into the United States. So the rules are, I'll list them down below, but you got to be subscribed to my channel. You got to like this video. You got to comment, and also pop onto my TikTok and my Instagram and my Facebook page if you can, and subscribe to those also. And in your comment, please tell me how I have inspired you in any way. And then also, the computer generated of the YouTube that generates the winners, I need you to hashtag GingerChickRehab, all one word, no. That's the only way. You have to do it here on YouTube, and it has to be in the comments. That's how that's generated. That's the only way you can get into the drawing. So again, thank you for 50,000 subscribers. I hope that somebody is happy with a new stamp set if you have not got your hands on them yet. So back to that coffee table makeover.
After that protective coat is dry of polycrylic, it's on to painting this white. So now he's going with some Kills paint and primer right off the shelf from Walmart and getting this painted. See how much it just richens up against that black. It just makes that white just pop a little bit more. Now, because this was already painted black and he sanded it, he did not even notice that And that's happened to me too. Sometimes when you paint something white and there's a detail that's a flaw, you're like, oh, white just shows it as a detail that you want to show off. But a crack in this is definitely not something you want to show off. So he's filling in with some Alex caulk. Just, yeah. So you're already in the process. Has that ever happened to you? Like, hey, I didn't even notice that. Or maybe we were working on so hard on fixing the drawers, but yeah, you're still painting it. It's not out the door. It's not in place. So there's always, sometimes even in the process, you need to fix something. And I know you're wondering why we didn't change out the hardware, but we both agreed. We both liked these knobs. You just always have to do something the way that you like it. So these knobs were perfectly fine. You needed 4 of them for some drawers. So just leaving them in. The drawers had enough of their problems sliding in and out as it was. But I think these are the perfect knobs for this little coffee table. So as he's sanding on this piece, he's using a 220 sandpaper around all those sharp corners, those sharp edges, bringing out that detail. And it depends on how hard you push. If you really want to show some of that natural wood underneath, you can get a stronger grit of sandpaper, or you can push harder. But really, we just want to see that black just to emphasize those details. And then he'll take it over the flat surface and just lightly smooth it. For the top, he's going to do that same thing. There's that little detail edge all the way around this entire top of this coffee table. So he's going in with some 220 sandpaper, and he's just making that detail pop. And then to make that top just so super smooth, he has some 300 grit sandpaper on an orbital sander, and he's just going down lightly. He's not pushing that machine hard, so it's removing. He's just making sure that that top is as nice and smooth as it could be. And now he's going to get those knobs back on, and you'll see why we like them. They are nice and chunky. Those drawers are just a beautiful accent, and sometimes you just keep it as is. The way the manufacturer made it was just perfect in our eyes. But he's created all that sanding dust. He needs to make sure that it is good and wiped off. He's going to be applying a top coat here in a second, so he needs to make sure that there's no dust left behind. After blowing it off with the air compressor, that's not always necessarily enough. Sometimes you need to take a rag and make sure all that dust is gone. Now, because this is a coffee table or just like a dining room table, the Kills Paint and Primer, when we do side tables, we do other things, we don't necessarily always top coat over the top of it. But since the chances of somebody setting a drink down more often, or people eat at coffee tables, we're going to go ahead and put a coat of Annie-Salone, a top coat on the top of this to have an added protection. Put the top coat on. He's using a sponge applicator, and I just get a pack from Amazon. So what you want to do is you want to get that product on there and then work from there, smoothing it, making sure that you don't have any bubbles. So just get that product on there. You have a little bit of play time, and then go back through with your entire strokes, making sure there's no air bubbles, making sure that it's as smooth as it possibly can be. And you could spray this on, but this is a big chunky table to get into our spray room. So this is what's working for right now. There's so many different ways to finish a product. Then after letting that top coat cure, dry overnight, he's going to go back in. Even though it's a matte, there still always seems to be a little bit of a shine to it. So he's just going to take some 220 sandpaper very lightly, just enough to take that shine off.
Okay guys, what did you think? Yeah, sometimes you just keep pieces for yourself. We could resell it, but we don't really have a ton of room in that space area. And I don't like to set a ton of stuff on things that are going to be for sale like that. So, and then it's low. But anyway, I absolutely love it. I love those chunkiness of the legs. It is a well-made, I mean, somebody really thought out that design of those drawers going on both sides. And yes, sometimes you just leave the hardware as is. So this was a quick, simple flip. I know it was already black, but it wasn't a very good job being painted black. You know, there's a lot to say about prepping your items. So give me a quick comment. Do you guys have a coffee table? Do you keep a coffee table? Do you just do the ottoman? And yeah, give me a like if you like this kind of content, and if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're checking out this video for the first time and you like what you saw, hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video. And we'll see you next time, guys, and you'll see what I'm up to.